Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Helping people around the world communicate for free. There are 2 participants in the conference.
Shalom, Lord in Christ, Captain Khan. Hey, Shalom, Lord in Christ. Yeah. Shalom. I hear some reverb. All right.
Let me go ahead and get in position so you can see me. Okay, see me and see the voice. You know what I'm saying, that's going on behind the screens, all right? Again, I'm Priest and Officer Wanya Allah, your host for Boot Up or Shut Up Radio. And we want all you all right now to make sure that you're sharing this video, Baba Kwashah, which is please in the ancient Hebrew. Baba Kwashah, share this video immediately. Okay, get this information out across the world. All right, that's how we gonna do. You can hear me clear over there. You can hear me good. Okay, cool. All right, just
I can
making
hear
sure.
you loud and clear, bro.
Most high and cry. And guess what, Cap? I can hear you loud and clear as well. All right. So we're gonna definitely get it in, most high in Christ. All right. So now, again, ISUPK. Before we start, we're not affiliated with any other, Hebrew Israelite group, posse, set, clan, whatever you want to call it. We are the home of the truth, under Commanding General Yohana, first in charge until Christ returns. Get into these classes, learn the truth about the Bible, so we can spread it to these blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and our West Indian brothers. All right. So now, again, this is another outlet that we use. Big ups to all the ISUPK radio affiliates across the world, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. And you got this from here, Captain Kahan, Yahweh Bashem Shabarakatah. So.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbatah. To all the brothers out there, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbatah. To all the brothers, Shalom, Yahweh Shemalatham Shem Yahweh to all the sisters out there. We at it again. Yeah, let's get it right into it, man. I mean, first and foremost, I want to say to everybody that's going to be in the Houston area, June 4th to the June 7th, General Muhammad will be in the area. All right, for scriptural breakdown at the Houston ISUPK Houston branch location.
Right.
You can go to our website to check that out, isupk.com. There's going to be other activities as counseling. If brothers and sisters out there that are in the Houston area, surrounding the area that need counseling or some kind of help, to reach out. The general will be there. But when you come to the school, make sure you come correct, if you know what I mean. All right. So now, let's get right into it, man. Hey, first of all, I need to know: are we black enough?
Hey.
That's what I got to know. I got to know: are we black tonight?
Good
okay?
night. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got to know: are we black? Because see, this is the problem with mainstream America,
right?
In the political. Like, see, you got to understand what culture is. See, y'all been calling the ISUPK a cult for the longest. But the difference is you don't know the difference between a cult and your culture.
Right.
And tonight, we are in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, under the power and authority of the Most High, we're going to educate you on tonight what is our culture. What decides who you are.
Right.
Who decided your culture? Because last time I looked on the TV, I want y'all, a 77-year-old white man who's running for president just said that us being black is predicated on us voting for him.
Hey, that's what it said. Conor McCon. That's exactly.
That's what I said. But we gonna slow it down now. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Right.
We gonna slow it. First of all, am I in hell right now? I think I'm in hell. Last time I checked.
Oh yeah, we putting you in the hell where you need to be at, Cap. It's going down.
Brother, put me all the way in the fifth chamber. I want to be in the fifth chamber.
Con out of one.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
So now,
put you up.
So now let's go into story number 5. We're gonna get into the Joe Biden story, but I want to give you. I want to ease into this thing, man.
Right.
All right. So let's go into story number 5, and we're gonna break down what culture is. You know what I'm saying? Now, hold on. Matter of fact, I just want to give you the definition. Let's just go to the definition before we go into story number 5.
Okay.
Now, for those who don't understand, a culture is a way of life that belongs to a particular race of people. Okay? And that way system, the moral value system, the systems of social and institutional structures able to deal with every aspect of life. Every race has a culture. We all understand that. Right? Every race has a culture. But being that every race has a culture, every race does not allow, except one race, another race to decide what their culture is.
Right.
And we're going to go into it tonight.
Nice.
All right? Story number 5, my brother.
All right. Story number 5.
The Korean Times article, lifestyle article. I am Korean, yet culturally black.
Now listen to this. I want you to read that title one more time, my brother, and understand that this is right here. This is what we're reading is not in the funny papers. Okay? This is the real, how this woman really believes about what her culture is. Go ahead, read it one more time.
Kanawakan. I am Korean, yet culturally black.
This is Rachel Dolezal 2.0, my brothers.
Kanawakan.
We have pre-warned you about transracialism. You heard of transgender, but now you are seeing transracial take on right now. You understand? Go ahead, brother. Keep reading.
Khan, sir.
And just read the meat of it. We don't have to get all the way into this, because we know this story. We've seen this script 100 times. Go ahead.
Khan. Sidney Wilson, author of Too Much Soul, The Journey of an Asian Southern Belle, was born Iwoo Yang in Seoul, and adopted by African American parents in 1975 when she was a few months old. Her name was changed to Sydney, and she was brought to America by her adoptive parents the following year. Unlike some other adoptees who have spent a great deal of time and energy to find their birth parents, Wilson has never tried to find her roots. She says she considers her adoptive parents, not birth parents, to be her true family. Raised in Mississippi, Wilson identifies as being part of the African American community, even though she is Asian.
You going?
Keep going.
Kanawakan, sir. In a recent Korea Times interview, she spoke about her upbringing, how it was impacted her journey to find her true self, and her book, which was published in 2018. Question: you appear to be more outgoing and positive than the other adoptees I've interviewed. Could you please tell me about your upbringing? Answer: one thing I've learned since meeting other Korean adoptees is that all of our experiences are different. It has been interesting hearing about the trauma of some Korean adoptees. As human beings, we all experience to process things differently.
Now hold on, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Make the connection between what we experience and what the Asian adoptees experience by using the word trauma. Pay attention to the wordplay. Other nations will always seem to try to self-identify with our plight in order to speak on our behalf.
Right.
This is why we teach you in the ISUPK about separation. Keep reading. Continue on.
Kanawakan, sir. As human beings, we all experience and process things differently. But I do think that my upbringing had a lot to do with my outlook on life. I was very involved in different activities and was a cheerleader from high school through college, so that definitely helped me to shape me as an outgoing person. I also always grew up in church, so I am a very spiritual individual that relies heavily on my faith in God. I think that my mom.
You see, your God is Buddha.
Oh man.
Like they're showing you. See, this is once again, and this is happening in Mississippi.
Goodness.
But you see how the crossbreeding of cultural aspects, and this is why the Lord never wanted us to mingle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, didn't you say it was
This
something
is why
like
the Lord never wanted us.
cultural appropriation or something of that nature a while back? Didn't you say that?
There you go, brother.
Right.
Listen, brother, that's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
This is what you have. Now, it seems innocent from the naked eye, but you have to have a spiritual eye in seeing what's going on.
Right.
You understand? And of course, these black people who adopted her, I'm sure they thought what they were doing was right, but you are not the Lord. And once again, we're going to go into the scripture. What we saying tonight. You understand? But as we continue on reading a little bit more of this article before we go into the main article, it's going to all make sense.
Right.
It's going to all make sense because someone had to let them pass the gate.
Man.
Someone had to give them the green light to make them feel like they're one of us.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
This is what has happened. And this is why we say integration was the Trojan horse that destroyed our culture. This is why we say this. Keep going, brother.
Good. You got it.
Kanawakan. I think that my mom was that example of being strong, confident, and fearless.
Mm-hmm.
So it allowed me to see that as a woman of color, although I am not African American like my mother.
See, hold on. You see that? A woman of color. When have you ever heard a Korean or Japanese or Chinese use the term woman of color.
Good night. She said woman of color, Cap.
Brothers and sisters,
What is going on, man?
brothers and sisters, we are at war, brothers and sisters. We are at war, a spiritual war, brother, and the Bible has said these things will happen.
Right.
And you want to know why we in the position we in? It's because we got all these infiltrators, and we have co-signers who allowed them for whatever gain to get the same way Rachel Dolezal got signed off. Rachel Dolezal, remember, she went to Howard University, a predominantly HBCU. And that's why we was battling them niggas out there at Chinatown in D.C. because them big-head niggas was giving her co-signing that crap. Probably just to getting her draws, making her feel like she black. They gave her the pass to do that.
Sure did.
Which is why you need a hierarchy in the nation.
Man.
You're not allowed to give, you're not authorized to give out an all-black access pass or all-black Latino pass or all-black Native American Indian pass or all Native American Indian pass to these heathens. You're not authorized to do that. You don't have the authority to do that.
Right.
You understand? This is going back to culture. You understand? A cultural appropriation. Culture is tied to a race. You have people of other races that indulge in our culture, which is cultural appropriation. You understand? Right. So that what is the Lord giving? The Lord is saying there's a spiritual copyright that's involved in this. Which is why we're going over this. Keep going, get a little bit more, and we're going to get on to it, brother. Y'all getting the gist of it, I'm sure.
Right.
Keep going. A little bit more.
Kanawan Khan, sir. It allowed me to see that as a woman of color, although I'm not African American, like my mother, that I could also overcome adversities. I also am a huge proponent of therapy and self-care and have been going since I was in my 20s and am definitely still a working in progress, but I for sure put in the work. Question.
Keep going.
Kanawan Khan, in an interview, you mentioned that America became racially divided in 2016, and this prompted you to publish the book.
Okay, here, drop down to this. Drop down to this because I read it earlier. Drop down to this right here. Okay, he want this, and then we can stop at this. This nonsense right here. Okay, right? Yeah, we're gonna get it, Kev. Okay, right there. Read that answer. Right, read that question, and then read that answer right there. All right, read that answer and that question right there.
Kanawan Khan. Question. In the book, you said you took a DNA test. Answer. I did take a 23andMe DNA test. I speak about it in my book and how nervous I was to get the results back.
Right.
Growing up, everyone always called me Chinese.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing, but that wasn't who I was. So when I took the test, I wondered what my reaction would be if it came back anything other than Korean, which I was told my entire life. Luckily, it did come back that I was 87% Korean.
What else?
And I believe 9 to 10% Japanese, so that was interesting. Being an adoptee and not knowing your family history or background, you are seeing a lot of us take the DNA test for some sort of validation.
Right.
That was my initial reason, but I had to remind myself that the results wouldn't change who I am as a person, but maybe my journey.
Wow. Absolutely amazing right there.
Now you understand, this is why we say you cannot be a spiritual Israelite.
Right.
Hey, people say, well, I'm a spiritual this, I'm a spiritual that, meaning they're adopting the culture of this, meaning that that's not that, which is why Paul talks about the bloodline. You understand? You have to be born in, not sworn in. You understand? But this is the example, one of many examples of why we about to go into Joe Biden tonight. You understand? You got to understand what integration done to us, brothers and sisters. Do you know what integration done to us? I'm gonna give you an example. Integration made it okay for you not to be black.
Right.
And it made it okay for them to be. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Integration made it okay for you not to be black, not to be who you are, and it made them okay for them to be it.
Golly, boy.
Which is why they can speak so freely in deciding who you are culturally.
Good night, boy.
Take me to Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 2, my brother.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 2, all right?
Khan. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 2. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even
you understand? Go ahead.
Khan. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
Right, because the Lord is not his father, but heathen. You understand? They cannot enter into our congregation, meaning in our community among us. They are not supposed to be among us.
Right.
You understand? The Lord said this. You want to talk about separation? The Lord is making a separation right here culturally, physically and culturally. Keep going.
Khan. Verse 3. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter.
The Ammonite, which is Japanese, and the Chinese, and the Koreans, I believe they are. The Koreans, I believe, are Ammonite. I'm sorry, they Moabites also. You understand?
Right.
So they ain't supposed to enter in either. Keep going.
Khan. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever.
Simple as that.
So what is and it says forever. Did you hear that? Forever. You pastors out there. So what is the Lord? The Lord is setting what? Cultural boundaries, brothers and sisters.
Right.
Which you are not to violate. The Lord set cultural boundaries. The Lord decided our culture. The Lord decided what was black, what was so-called Latino, what was so-called Native American Indian. He decides our culture, which is why you bastards hate the Bible. You hate the law, because the law is tied to our culture. The law is tied to our identity.
Right.
Take me to Deuteronomy take me to Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. What those parents did, they should have let a North Korean adopt her, or Korean. Like we wrong to do that. The Lord ain't with that. And see, you confuse a lot of these kids by doing that. Same thing when these white children try to adopt these black children or these Africans.
Right.
Or try to adopt us. That child grow up not knowing who they are, and they're culturally confused.
Damn.
And you can look in this picture, and you can see that she thinks she a black woman.
Sure
you can look in this picture right here, and you can see that she is trying to pull out in competition with a black woman.
Right.
And you can't tell her she ain't black. I bet you she used the word nigger. Can somebody talk to me tonight?
Of course, because she said she got her mother's black.
I bet you she used the word nigger. Go ahead, brother.
Come, sir. See, her mother is black, right? And they didn't raise her, in the ways of the Bible. So she going all the way out, right? She in full out blackness, okay? And of course, also now let me also add to it, Cap. See, what she's done is she has hung around black men, black women, and of course, the black women have taught her how to be a black woman, and in result of that, taught her how to get a black man, which is why you bring up what you bring up, which is why she has the clothes and dress the way that she dresses and gives off the spirit of a black woman. So that's something that our black women have to definitely stop doing, which is teaching the enemy how to get a black man, and then get upset You know, when she hangs around and she's in the club, she learns how to drop it like it's hot, learns how to put the shoes on, you know, and wear her hair and so forth and do the slang. And yes, Cap, you right. Say nigga.
Yeah, and if I could,
Come on.
if I could, I want y'all. The book is called Too Much Soul.
Good night.
Too much soul, and I'm not talking about the word soul like North Korea, the city soul. I'm talking about the SOUL soul. You understand?
Oh man!
Like she with too much soul, and you better believe she know how to cook the collard greens. She know how to cook. She grew up in Mississippi.
Oh, you already know what it is, Cap. Yeah.
So she got all the accessories, but she's not the real thing.
That's right.
She's not the real thing.
Man.
And this is what we have to stop going off of carbon copies.
Nice.
We have to go after the real black woman, the real Latino woman, the real Native Indian woman. We got to stop selling for women who duplicate or imitate our culture.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Keep going, my boy. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. You good. And that, Cap, listen, that right there is the ultimate separation. You see what I'm saying? I mean, and I think Captain Soccer Ward said something, you know, when he hooked up with the brothers in Tennessee. And, you know, I'm going to end the show with that right there. But, I mean, these brothers, you know, they get on there, they want to ride, they want to do this. And those same brothers are the ones that are salivating after women like this. I'm saying after heathens like this. And, you know, they refuse to separate. You know, they'd rather say, well, who's the better choice, you know, Trump or Biden, instead of saying, let's separate and let's get under our own leadership under command and general your honor. See what I'm saying? That's the problem.
Damn right. And I'm going to tell you something. Ain't nothing like your woman.
Oh, man.
Ain't nothing like the black, Latino, Native American Indian. When I talk about black, I'm talking about our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, Haiti.
That's right.
Brother Jamaica, Bermuda, all those different Caribbean islands. Latino brothers and sisters out there, the Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, all those different Native American Indians, North, Central, South in America.
That's right.
Latino brothers and sisters. I mean, ain't nothing better than your own. You understand? But you have these Trojan horses among us, right? These, I guess you could say, double agents. You understand? Like, you know what I'm saying? And will be full out working with the enemy because her race. You can't escape what race you are. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Exactly.
You cannot escape that, man. So let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2, and we're gonna get one more scripture. We're gonna get up off of this, man. We're gonna go to the next story.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. And
you understand that? The Bible says, learn not the way of the heathen. Don't learn their culture. That's what the Lord is saying. Since you want to talk about, everybody now want to talk about culture now tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody, for the past few days, everybody been want to talk about what it means to be. You don't decide what it means to be black.
That's right.
So you deviated from the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments on what it means to be who you are. You understand? The Lord tells you not to learn certain things, which shows you what? That all knowledge is not good knowledge.
Right. Good.
He showed us that in the Garden of Eden, with the knowledge of the tree of good and evil.
Right.
All knowledge ain't good knowledge.
That's right.
There's some knowledge that's forbidden to be learned. So you ain't supposed to learn these ways of these heathens. You ain't supposed to learn how they eat what they eat, how to dress how they dress, how to act how they act, how to serve their God.
Right.
That right there is spiritual fornication.
That's right, Cap. That's right.
Keep going, my brother.
Come on, sir. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
You see that? The Lord is telling us, don't, how they get into all this astrology and all this star worship, don't be focused on that, man. Don't be focused on the zodiac signs and all these different things. You don't, that knowledge, you ain't even on that level yet to even deal with that. You understand? That's for the Lord to deal with. What you need to be doing is focus on changing your life. You ain't supposed to be dismayed at what they do.
Right.
You're supposed to be getting back to your culture, your God. One more scripture, brother. We're going to move on. Take me to Deuteronomy 12 and 30, my brother.
Do you see this?
Deuteronomy 12 and 30.
Do you see this one body right here? Do you see this? I was getting ready to Salaki Cap, and he pulled the exact same scripture.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely one body. Go ahead. Good night.
Damn right.
Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
After that, they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou.
Now you hold on. What is a snare? A snare is a trap. When you follow other people's culture, when you listen to what they say and follow their way of life, it's going to become a snare unto you. That's what God is telling you. Keep going.
Come. And that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so.
Repeat that one more time.
Come. And that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods?
What are you asking when you ask how did these nations serve their God?
Right.
You're asking what is their culture?
Man.
How can we become a part of their culture? That is what we're talking about tonight.
Right.
Don't inquire after the way they vote, their system,
That's right.
their political system, the way they do business.
Right.
That's foreign to us. That's a strange thing to us. It's going to be snared in that. You want to become powerful? You have to know how to do business the way the Lord said to do it.
That's right, Cal.
You want to become culturally strong? You have to marry the way the Lord said to marry. You want to become cultural educated? You have to learn the way the Lord say educated. This is what the Lord said, man.
That's right.
This is the blueprint.
Right.
Keep going.
Come. Even so will I do likewise.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 31.
You understand what that is?
Come, sir.
So you can drop that right there. We can let's go on. Let's go on to the meat of it. Let's go on to story number 6, my brother. Now we about to get all the way into this. You know what I'm saying? Because last time I checked, I want y'all to. It don't get no blacker than the UPK. Last time I checked.
Right.
Last time I checked, it don't get no more Latino, no more Native American Indian, no more black than the ISUPK. It don't get no blacker than this. So me hearing this, brother, it wasn't a shock, but brother, it was something that I mean, it rung a bell, and it goes back to when we first was battling people who was for Barack Obama.
That's right.
And we're gonna talk about that tonight.
Right. Exactly. That's right.
Let's get right into it, brother. Come on.
All right, Connor McCon. All right, this is story number. Let me see. What story is this?
Story number 6, Joe Biden.
Okay, cool. Story number 6. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into this, everybody. And this and guess what? This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a good one. All right. I know you've been hearing it, but we're gonna go ahead and let Captain Khan break this all the way down. All right. Now, this is Biden. Biden apologizes for saying radio hosts ain't black if undecided about U.S. election. Okay? Now, former Vice President Joe Biden apologizes on Friday for telling a radio host that he ain't black if he was still weighing whether to support him or incumbent Donald Trump in the November 3rd U.S. presidential election. It's amazing,
like, check this out, man.
Okay.
I want y'all. What is the underlying thing we always say when we talking about the cars in life? We talk about
the race car.
The race car.
Right. Yes.
And once again, brother, without fair, this is just showing you in high school of universal practical knowledge. Universal practical knowledge. You cannot get around that. You understand? He went to the race card when he was getting stumped.
He just couldn't help himself, could
he? Any question? He pulled the race card. He had to pull. He went for desperation, and he pulled the race card. And we told you from the giddy up that the Republicans as well as the Democrats have been using the race card, and it was going to be open. Did we say that? Y'all
been saying it over and over and over again. It's like a broken record. Yes.
Over and over, yes. And now, and let me tell you something. He gave those black Republicans just what they wanted to hear. God. Oh my goodness! I mean, they are having a field day with him right now, and not only black Republicans, but black people in general. And right. Shout out to all those memers and streamers. Our memers and streamers out there who've been listening to Boot Up and Shut Up, our long-time listeners. Shout out that we checking some of those memes out, man. Some of those memes, I mean, they're memeing him into oblivion.
Right.
He wants you to keep up the good work.
Right. And okay? Listen, give Gail hell too. Don't slack up on Gail. Continue to give Gail hell too. All right.
Oh yeah, we still on Gail.
Right.
Oh, we may not let off Gail until Christ come back.
That's right.
You understand? But for sure, just to understand what Joe Biden, and remember, Joe Biden was trying to ride what happened in Georgia. He wanted, see, the plan was, I'm going to give you what the Democratic plan was. You had a lynching down there in Georgia.
Right.
Where 2 white men killed the black man. Joe Biden came out, and that was the goose that laid the golden egg for the Democratic Party. Anytime they can ride a racial issue or monetize a racial issue up to an election, they're going to do it. They're going to ride that wave because that right there shows that they're in solidarity with black people.
Correct.
But in this case, on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God, you understand, they call himself Charlamagne the God, happens is, what did he do? He got desperate.
Right.
And let me tell you something else. This is what you don't understand. Why was he so comfortable in saying it? That's what the question you got to ask yourself as black people. Why was Joe Biden so comfortable in saying to a black man, him being a 77-year-old white man, that his being black was only being validated by him voting for him? Why was he so comfortable in saying that?
Because he's around
Christian style
pastors out of one.
Come on.
Okay?
Come on, brother.
Who have made the same crowd that hangs around, right? The exact same crowd that hangs around Woong Tong Ti Tong, that lady that we just got through talking about, right? Her right there that made her feel comfortable, that teaches her how to get a black man and so forth like that, right? It's the same people that make Joe Biden and every other white person feel comfortable enough to say something like that or say the word nigger. However you want to say it, it's a collection of whole lot of coonery that makes that person, that makes that white man or white woman feel comfortable to be able to say you ain't black enough unless you vote for me. That's why. Mm-hmm.
Damn right, brother. Right. What you saying is spot on, Y'all. The leadership, black leadership, the NAACP, all the rest of those big head Negroes.
Right.
That is why he feels comfortable in saying that, because they have given him an all access pass into black America. They have the same thing. And by the way, we have yet to hear anything from Barack Obama.
Right.
We haven't heard nothing about what he said about this, the quote-unquote first so-called black president. Right. And I remember, man.
Right. Where's the blackness at?
I remember this like yesterday. I remember them telling us. And so you got to understand, you black people, a lot of y'all is y'all fault too. A lot of y'all that want those big people that go out and try to get everybody to vote and try to browbeat black people for not voting. Mm-hmm. I remember them telling us in Washington, D.C., that we should vote for Barack Obama because he was black. I remember that.
Right. Right.
Not because he had a political plan for black people or economic plan for black people. You chose the race card when it was convenient for you.
Oh, man.
So hold on. You called ISUPK a hate group and called us racist, but then got mad at us because we said we wasn't voting, and you said that we should vote for him because
I'm just.
Isn't that textbook racism based on what you said? Based on what you said, we know what real racism is. So we asked you at the camp. We quoted. As a matter of fact, we quoted Dr. Martin. The one who you follow his dream,
right?
Dr. Martin Luther King. Right. We asked you out there.
Right.
We quoted Martin Luther King. We said, shouldn't we judge a man based on the content of his character and not the color of his skin? And you niggas got mad with us. I remember, matter of fact, in Baltimore, General Katham, what is Barack Obama's economic plan for black people? And the nigga got mad and said, yeah, dog, he black, and walked off.
Yeah.
So you can't pick and choose. See, the problem is you want to pick and choose. See, you want to be black when it's convenient.
That's it right there.
That's it. That's what it is. I understand now. You want to be a chameleon. You want to be black when it's convenient. But let me tell you something. In ISUPK, we black 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever and a day.
Right. Before and after our brother gets shot down in the street. You know what I'm saying, Cap? Before our brother gets shot, and after, before our brothers get shot down in the street by cops, and after our brothers get shot down in the street by cops, okay, and after the visual, we still black, okay, and this is before the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman, commits. Well, I say commits murder, but you know what I'm saying, gets an abortion. And then afterwards she feels sorry because she can't take care of it. And then we have to console them or put up with their attitude or put up with the depression and suppression. We're still black. Okay? All right? And that's what, and those are the things that we deal with. And the other nations, well, putting on a pair of damn shoes or some damn stilettos, or, dropping your pants down low, or dropping it like it's hot, or trying to put some type of slang on your words, that does not constitute that you're black. You see what I'm saying? It just constitutes that you're looking for all the benefits, right? Everybody wants to be black through benefits, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the video on this, Cap. If I can pull up the video. Okay. All right. Okay. See if I can pull up the video real fast. Yeah, this is absolutely incredible when we're looking at this, man. It may play, it may not. Oh yeah. But you can keep going until I get it going. I was trying to go ahead and pull it up. Okay. All right. So let's like I was saying before, man. They gave him look. We gotta stop. It's time for us to stop being a political pinball for all these parties, man. Right. Everybody wants you to vote. Everybody, and they have taken your vote for granted. They taking you for granted because you haven't turned to the Lord. That's right. You know what I'm saying? You done sold your behind over to them people, man. For which why we tell you that the Democratic Party, either wing, the left wing or the right wing, is still part of the same eagle. It's still part of the same bird. Right. You understand? They may differ on how they deal with social issues and certain political issues, but it's still all to keep this government intact. And if keeping this government intact meaning keeping you down on the bottom, which it always has been, that's the goal they're going to try to do. Right. You understand? I mean, this was amazing. You understand? And he said this. I mean, he said it with no. I mean, he said he wanted to apologize for being so cavalier, but it's already in the stream. Right. I mean, he said you ain't black like a black person would say you ain't black. He ain't just say you ain't black like you're not black like a white person. He said the way he said it was like he was talking to it, like he was one of us. So now, yeah, this man. I mean, it's ridiculous. This man is crazy. So now, if we can get a little bit more, we can get a little bit more. Okay, yeah, we can get a little more and keep going. It don't matter because I know they seen it already. They seen it a bunch of times already. Yeah. Right? If you want later on, you can post it just so. Okay, I'll do that. They can replay it and download it and whatever they want to do with it. Gotcha. All right. Okay, so we're gonna get. So you want me to get some more on the story? Yeah, please. Okay, come. All right, so now we have It says, let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to stop this one. Hold on, just okay. All right. Now it says the likely Democratic nominee. Let me see something. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, we done. All right. Okay, y'all. So y'all heard that. All right. Y'all heard. Let's get more into into the story. All right. Okay. All right. Hopefully that does knock that out. Okay. Let me go ahead and get over here. All right. Now it says the likely Democratic nominee remarks to the Breakfast Club co-host Charlamagne tha God in an interview broadcast on Friday drew a swift rebuke from the Trump campaign and Republican supporters, as well as some black Democrats on Twitter. Quote, "I shouldn't have been such a wise guy," Biden said on a subsequent call with the U.S. Black Chambers Incorporated, and it's a Black American or African American business group. He says, "I shouldn't have been so cavalier." So Biden, who served 8 years as number 2 to President Barack Obama, the first black U.S. president, added he has never taken black voters for granted and that no one should have to vote for somebody. Now, during the radio interview recorded on Thursday, the popular host who challenged Biden over his long history on race issues, as Charlamagne pressed Biden about whether he would select an African American woman as vice president. A campaign aide could be heard trying to end the interview.
You see, hold on. See, and listen, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. You gotta understand. That's what they try to do. They can't answer those questions. They want to end the interview. You understand? Not that having a black woman as a vice president is gonna do anything, but it's just showing you when they go off the script. They're like, "Look, we gotta end this. Keep going."
Absolutely amazing. Come on, I don't want to come. Absolutely amazing. All right. So now we're gonna get some more. It says can't be heard in the background, right? Trying to end the interview. Now it says you can't do that. You can't do that to black media. The radio host said. Biden responded, "I do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock." Now Charlamagne.
Hold on. Listen. So now, do you hear that?
Right.
I do that. Black media.
Right.
And which he don't do that to white media. He don't treat white media like that. You understand?
Wow.
He don't treat white media the way he treats so-called quote-unquote black media.
Absolutely not.
You understand?
Absolutely.
He would answer the question because if you're trying to gain the voters, we're showing you that this is just a game they playing with you.
Wow.
Keep going, brother.
Come on. Yeah, that's a game. Now it goes on. Charlamagne invited Biden back to the show, saying he had more questions ahead of the election. "You got more questions?" Biden replied. "Well, I tell you what, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black." Okay, so Biden
come on, man. Come on, man. Your black leaders are the cause of this. Your black pastors, your black politicians are the cause of a white man feeling comfortable enough to tell you who you are, to remove your black card if you do not, meaning voting for him validates your blackness.
Golly.
And let me tell you, and those who campaign hard for Barack Obama about being the first black president, he's not even black, he's an African. You understand? But just to go to show you, this is the fruit of your doing.
Man.
You wanted to browbeat black people about not voting, talking about it was a disgrace to our ancestors. Our ancestors didn't die because they were trying to die for voting. They were dying for trying to get power and get from under oppression.
Right.
They were murdered.
Right.
You love to try to spin the narrative. But see, now, you got to face the UPK now.
That's right.
See, now we in the stream.
Right.
And see, and I'm going to tell you something else. A lot of these Breakfast Club and all these other people, they listen to the ISUPK. Make no mistake about it. They listening to Commanding General Yohana.
Yep.
They listening to all the generals. That's what they're listening to. You understand? And they hearing what, and they taking some of those talking points. That's what's going on.
That's right.
They taking some of the talking points and they using it in questioning these politicians. And we told you a while ago, you need political consultation.
That's right.
He said it out of his own mouth. And they trying to backtrack it. And you know they're going to be a part 2 to this because he want to smooth it out with the black community. You understand?
Right.
Keep going, my brother.
Absolutely amazing, man. All right, let's get some more, everybody. So now, Biden calls his record of racial issues second to none. He and Charlemagne agreed he would come back on the show another time. Before the apology, the Trump campaign organized a conference call with reporters where U.S. Senator Tim Scott, who was black, said Biden's comments were arrogant and demeaning and negative race-baiting rhetoric. Now, Biden advisor Simon,
Tim Scott, for those who don't know, Tim Scott is a Republican. Now, what they're going to try to do, what you get ready to see now, Toms on the right and the Uncle Toms on the left, duke it out and debate what's culturally black.
Right.
They're gonna fight for each one of their slave masters, and they've been doing it all week long. And this is what you're gonna see, which is why you're not supposed. The Lord gonna destroy the Sadducees and the Pharisees. You understand? But this is what they're doing. They have become a political pinball in a white man's political system. You understand? Fighting to put one white man in office or the other white man in office. Meanwhile, they should withdraw from this political party, from these political parties, and to be focused on the politics that's among us.
That's right.
The Lord, the things that the Lord have us to tend to as a nation. You understand? Instead of diverting all of our energy into these goddamn campaigns, we should be diverting our energy into building up our communities and our nation and our families. You understand? By following Commander General Yohana, who has the blueprint, might I add.
That's right.
Who has the revelation, might I add. Who has the insight, who has the foresight, might I add.
Man.
You understand? But you don't want to follow a righteous man, so you will argue over what's culturally black. When neither of you are able to decide what's culturally black because you're too busy kissing the Republicans' ass, you kissing the jackass, or you kissing the elephant, the elephant's ass. One of the two.
Good night.
Keep going.
Good night. Come. So now, it says Biden advised Simon Sanders said in Biden's advisor Simon Sanders said in a tweet that the remarks were made in jest. That he was making the distinction that he would put his record with the African American community up against Trump's any day. Period, she said. So there go the cover right there. That's the end of that garbage right there. And you're exactly right, Cap. What we're looking at is, let me come to the rescue for my slave master, and take up for him, and like it's amazing because when you ask our people, like, why are you voting? Because voting never helps. And they'll tell you, well, you never know, it might help this time. It might work this time. You see what I'm saying? And we have stretched forth our hands to a nation that cannot help us over and over again. Oh, man.
That's correct. That's correct, brother. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. The generation that came before us, the ones that came before us, man, they were trying to vote because they thought there was access to certain power, to get from under oppression. But
right.
What happened is once they gave you the right to vote, then they switched to the same thing with integration. Once they allowed you to sit in a restaurant, it was a switch. It was a bait and switch.
Oh man.
You understand? Like the Satan does. When
Right.
you make a deal with the devil, you always pay the higher cost.
Right.
And so that's what happened. They switched it. We integrated. Our businesses got destroyed. Their businesses flourished. We started voting. All they did is start to buy these Uncle Tom Negroes off. And notice this: when you look back at the tape, Joe Biden said that I've been TP. He's been saying, listen, you gotta understand. He's saying that he got the approval of Black America by these different people endorsing him. And he said that right before he said, "You ain't black if you don't vote for me."
Yeah, it is.
The NAACP, that big head Negro, he's in Jackson, Mississippi. I seen him on. He didn't act the least outrageous he can be, because that money that made them niggas get quiet.
Soft, yeah. Trim their
He said it was
ways.
unfortunate, and he's right. We gonna go into that. He said it's unfortunate, but we sure he gonna make it right with the American with Black America. You understand?
Yeah.
They were the least bit outraged, showing you that money has pacified your leaders. Take me to Jeremiah 14:2, my brother.
Jeremiah, let's get that. Jeremiah 14:2. Oh, man.
And you got to understand something. That Joe Biden, and check this out. He just hired, I think it's Cesar Chavez's daughter for Latino political outreach.
Yes, he did.
So
He
he's
just
trying to
did
cover
that.
all bases.
That's right.
He just hired Chavez's daughter. So he's trying to cover all ground with reaching out to us as a people, meaning that because we hate Trump or because we against Trump, we just supposed to vote for him. And it's showing you, man, how stupid you can be. You understand that we ain't supposed to be indulging in these politics. It's trickery, man. It's ways to fix our people that don't even involve voting. The Lord never gave you I tell you what, you show me in the Bible. I challenge anyone to show me in the Bible where the Lord said to vote.
It's not in there. Just for anybody.
I challenge anyone, any political pundit, any political science professor, any politician, black politician or white politician. You show me in the Bible where the Lord said to vote.
Right. So just for all those
It
who
ain't no
wanna
way in
open
there.
up the Bible and attempt to do it, or maybe you want to go to the table of contents and try to look it up. It's not in there. Okay. So what Captain Kahan is proposing is you walking straight off the cliff into an ocean full of sharks who are hungry for blood, because it's not in there. So don't even do it. Okay, there is no way that we should be voting. The Lord says for us to, actually voting is in there, right, Cap? but it's telling us to vote for our own.
It's in there.
Right, it's in there, all right. But it's telling us to vote.
And if I can add,
go ahead, Adam.
Voting was the system they used to crucify Christ. You got it, brother.
Good night.
Anwar Khan, Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
You understand? Judah is mourning. The word Judah, that's where you get the word Jews from. You understand? The head tribe of Israel is Judah. But you know what I'm saying? At that time, Judah mourning. You know what I'm saying? The real Jews are in mourning. And the gates thereof languish.
Right.
Meaning the gates are supposed to be your protection, your leadership. They're weak. And you know they're weak because a 77-year-old white man can get on a black media podcast and say you ain't black to get on vote for him. The outrage. Can you imagine him telling an Irish man he ain't Irish? Or a Chinese man he ain't Chinese?
Oh, I tell you, man.
You understand? They wouldn't allow that. But it's showing you that these political parties that made you look cheap.
They are so passive, and so weak, so passive, man. Just laid back and nonchalant, right, with your nationality, right? Nonchalant, with the things that's supposed to matter to you. See, this is what Commander General Hunt has been trying to say, right, for years.
Shalom.
your leadership is very important to you. Okay, shalom. Who is that?
Shalom. Yeah, about you.
All right, who is it?
Shalom.
Stop.
Hey, this is Captain Marquard.
Captain Marquard. Shalom. Cap. Yahbashim Ashpakatah.
We're going, Captain. Hey, man, listen, if I could.
Of course.
What y'all bringing out is so bad.
Damn right.
Just to even to come out and say that goes to show you how much that like to come out and just say that like that.
Right.
Is very unprofessional, man. You damn near ain't never heard no politician come out and speak like that out.
God.
You understand? And really what it is, it just shows you how much of a lack of respect that these devils got for us as a people, man.
Yes.
You understand? To where he even would come out and say some shit like that. I mean, once again, to her, man, what you bringing out and dropping is so heavy out. You know what I'm saying? That this shit is insane. What our leaders didn't let us, man, basically into the damn graveyard, man.
Damn.
That's right. It's like anybody who got a business and if you don't take care of your business well, you know, you may get customers, but after a while they're gonna be able to see how you ain't putting the cans on the shelf, you ain't stocking this right. It's gonna be shown.
Right.
And man, what y'all bringing out is just too. I had to say something. So Rocky.
Oh no.
Damn right. No, Cap, you always welcome, Cap.
That's right. Always welcome. You know, and I mean, listen, y'all know this. This is Captain Marquard, Big Priest. You know what I'm saying? Of the whole Midwest, Priest and Captain 13,000, over the Chicago camp and various camps as well. Out in that Midwest, you see what I'm saying? So big ups to Priest and Captain 13,000 Marquard and Cap. You can call in anytime, you know what I'm saying, you want to, and we appreciate you as well tuning in, you know, and giving your views, because you are right and exact, man. The boldness, I mean, you know, listen, it's going to take the ISUPK to stop this, see what I'm saying? Because if not, it's going to keep going on, and these, you know, and the oppressor is going to get more and more comfortable. I mean, you know, Biden, like you saw how he did it, right? Like the body language, he leaned forward and everything, and pointed his finger like, like he had gotten the okay, you know.
Hold on. And the verbiage, you right. Ain't. When have you ever heard a vice president use the you ain't? That's black people talk.
Right.
So that just goes to show you that he has gotten all access pass into Black America, which is why we are bringing out Jeremiah 14:2, the gates thereof in language. And the water for Captain Marquard called in because what he said was so right. Like that wasn't in the teleprompter. That was unprofessional. I guarantee you, the words "you ain't black" were in the goddamn teleprompter.
Nah, they weren't in the teleprompter. Nah.
That devil went off script. That devil got comfortable. He said, "Look, I'm tired of playing games with you niggas. You ain't black, okay?"
Right.
Nigga, I'm tired of playing games with you, Charlemagne. Nigga, you ain't black, okay? Now, how that sound?
Hey, Cap, and if I may, see, that's why it's important to be in the ISUPK, right? As far as like dealing with cops, you know, you have to be trained, as well as dealing with the oppressor in such an open forum like that in the public. Charlemagne, you know, the God, didn't even know how to respond to that, and there was a solid way to, you know, to react to that and respond, but he didn't know how. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
He didn't know how.
Yeah. Right. He wasn't trained to.
Right. He was not trained, which is why they are trying so hard right now, brothers. For all our long-time listeners, our memers and streamers out there, they trying so hard to censor the ISUPK on Instagram, on different platforms. But once again, we are in the stream now. You understand? We are in the stream, and like you can't censor us now.
No, that's
the word. Like remember, the Bible says the word of the Lord would not return unto him void.
Right.
The Bible said they were going to take our word that we say on these streets, on the physical streets, and on the information highways and byways.
Right.
And they were going to go into the gates of the noble. And you are seeing that right now play out right now, even during this pandemic. Everything now is digital right now. A lot of these churches are trying to go digital. And we in the chat room. We in the chat room on their ass. We in like now see what's going to happen next is they trying to go digital because they don't want to. A lot of them don't want to open the church. They got to go digital.
Come on, Cal.
But then next, they got to come back on the street. And when they come on the street, they gonna meet us. So we gonna cross paths real soon. A lot of your pastors, the Bible, the Lord has showed us, we gonna cross paths real soon. And when we cross paths in those streets, that's gonna be your ass. Excuse my language.
Cap. Go ahead.
You right on point.
Go ahead, Cap.
No, I just want to say, Cap Gahan, man, you right on point as usual, man. And you know, the one thing that our people don't realize is that these same political people that you voting for are the ones that's creating laws to oppress you even more. So you wonder why the black man ain't in the House, because the very Democrats or Republicans that you voted for back in the day created the law to put him out the House.
That's right.
You understand? The very cat you voting for, voting for to thinking that's gonna help you is the one that's helping oppress you. These are the cats that's putting the Koreans in your neighborhood. They putting the Japanese in your neighborhood. You think doing this shit?
Come on.
You going to the polls to vote for?
Right.
That's why you ain't got no black business, because you voting.
Nice. And listen, man.
Damn right.
It's super, super heavy, man. You know what I'm saying? Super heavy, man. And listen, y'all, if you're out there listening, the only way you're going to get this knowledge, right, is not by watching some videos and trying to, take here and take there, man. You're going to have to dedicate yourself, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to change your life, you understand? You're going to get that head anointed. You're going to have to change your life, come in this truth, you know what I'm saying, in order to get these dark sayings, you know what I'm saying, revealed to you. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we are right here, man. We are the future leaders, future slave masters. That's what you're listening to. You know what I'm saying? And we listen, and you cannot slip nothing by us without us knowing what's going on. So because the Lord is with us, meaning us, the ISUPK, under Commanding General Yohana. You understand that? So get that through your skulls. And Cap, you got it from here.
Damn right, bro. Let's finish up on Jeremiah 14:2, if you will.
Come on, let's get that.
Come on, sir. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
And I want to say one thing. Part of us mourning is not having proper representation, which is why, once again, why this type of stuff happened. And I'm glad it happened on the live stream.
Right.
You understand? Because if it would have happened on any other, they would have probably tried to edit everything out. But see now, like I said, the game has changed now. It has shifted. This virus and this pandemic has shifted the whole scene now. Now, like I said, they got to damn near try to block us out of some of these podcasts, because we in the chat room. We in there on your
Cap.
You understand?
If I can,
we in there with TD Jakes. We in the Potter's house breaking shit.
Nice.
So you know what time it is right now.
And
keep going.
And Cap, if I may, just real quick, this I was gonna say it first, right? After Captain Mabaqua's statement, like it's so good, it is, to see these Christian pastors and Christian women, and listen on these podcasts, trying to listen. It just don't hit the same. I know y'all feel what I'm speaking about. It doesn't hit the same when you see them sitting and you see the wall behind them. Like ain't no pretty flowers, ain't no gowns, ain't no glass lights and stuff, and no tambourines and playing. It's just them sitting there. And now when you sitting there, you going, nah, you can tell what they saying is a lie. You can tell that they don't know the Bible, right? Because they got the flashy piano and all that stuff going. But now, when they doing it, you can look straight through it and say, man, I'm getting ready to turn it off this man. You know what I'm saying? This person don't know the Bible. So what you're learning is what Christians are learning. Church Christians are finally coming to themselves and realizing that they don't really care about the Bible and Christianity the way it's been taught to them. They just really care about the social gathering and going to, the church and being out front and sitting in the pews and so forth. But just sitting in class and learning that, they ain't about that life. So now you see all the church Christians stripping and, the brothers smoking weed out, and doing all types of stuff, and pastors getting in trouble. Like, this quarantine has been excellent for ISUPK, to quarantine, and everybody else, like you said, Cap, and I'm going to give it back. This is a spiritual quarantine. That's what this is. And you thought it was physical when it's really spiritual. And now when you come out, you're going to have to pick a side, because life as they knew it is over with. It's not going to be like that no more. And so is the thoughts of the people, right? It's all changed in an instant behind a bug. Barakatah Yahweh Yahabashah. All right.
Damn right, bro. And what you're saying is like you said about as far as these platforms. A lot of these churches now opening up these platforms where listeners can ask questions, and in some cases call in live stream or be video live stream. So now I'm telling you, brother, the battle, gird up your loins, because, brother, now we are about to take the spoils. Hear me clearly, all you ISUPK officers out there and soon to be officers that's troopers, understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, the study to show thyself approved.
That's right.
Understand, because you just, don't get me wrong, these pastors, they understand some of the scriptural text. But, brother, one thing they are afraid of dealing with is geopolitical aspects of the Bible.
Come on now.
They are afraid of it. You understand? One pastor told me that geopolitics is not in the Bible. And which was dead wrong, because how can geopolitics not be in the Bible when they went to crucify Christ, they said, we have no king but Caesar.
Good night.
That is political.
Good night.
That is a political statement. And it was treason. Finish up on Jeremiah 14:2, my brother.
Come on, sir. They are black unto the ground. And the cry.
You understand? They are black unto the ground. Go ahead.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
The Lord hear our cry, man.
That's right.
You understand? And he raised up a man named Commanding General Yohana under Christ. You understand? That is who is at the top of this hierarchy on this earth right now.
That's
under
right.
Christ.
Damn right.
And that is
Damn
that is who we should follow. He already have the blueprint. He was feeding people during the pandemic. He's housing people during the pandemic. He's clothing people. He's doing what your politicians failed to do, what they are trying to get elected to do. He's already doing with pennies. He's doing it already.
Right.
You understand? And they know it. I'm gonna let you in a little secret. They know the name Commanding General Yohana. They know it. These politicians, they know it. When you bring up the ISUPK, they may act like they don't know, but trust what I'm telling you. They know exactly who we are.
That's right.
They know we have the manpower. They know we have the spiritual power. And they know we have the revelation under Commanding General Yohana. And they know it. Remember this. Nicodemus came to Christ by night. He was a leader of the Jews. He was in a high position. He came to Christ by night.
Right.
You understand? He came by night because he didn't want to cause an uproar. But he knew that this was a man of God. They know what we're saying is right, and they see the writing on the wall. All of these pastors are seeing the biblical text. There were pastors at first saying they wanted to open back up. We came out on the boot up, shut up, and on these classes saying the Lord is putting these churches on a financial fast, and they are not to break it. And now these pastors are saying maybe we shouldn't go back to church. We're gonna wait until the Lord. We telling you what the Lord don't want you in these churches now. That time is up.
Damn right.
It's over.
Damn right.
The church now is the people. It's not a building.
Right.
You understand? The Lord asked David, "What house shall you build for me?"
Right.
You can't build a house. The house that he living in is you.
Right.
Right. That's right.
So now the Lord is ending these dilapidated buildings. A lot of this grass is growing around these churches right now. I've been riding by a couple of churches. I'm starting to see somebody ain't cutting the grass out there. It's starting to look real dilapidated right now.
Right. And
It's gonna roll, bro. Dilapidated.
Crazy. Yeah, just to put it out there, we have Captain Azania out in Syracuse. He's saying that they are asking Biden, a crooker now, to make his vice president a black woman. Of course, we just read that, but I wanted to make sure. So he, everybody's on that already, right? So not a black man, okay? And what are you all's views on that? Like, it's not don't make a black man, all right? I mean, what, they don't have any more Africans left or what? See what I'm saying? Like, make a black man. Let's do that, right? I mean, listen, we shouldn't do nothing.
Let me tell you something.
I'm speaking worldly when I say that, Cap. Go ahead.
No, you're right. It's such a political theater because these Negroes think that what the Lord already told us. Well, see, like a lot of people, we thought we was progressive during the '60s. We thought we was progressive doing these things, joining him. But we are further behind now than what we were doing. I'll give you even the Reconstruction era after the Civil War. We are further. Remember this. It took us 40 years to get out of the wilderness to become a full-fledged nation. After 40 years, we were a full-fledged nation going to conquer other nations. It's been 50-some odd years, I think, going on 60 since we didn't got civil rights, quote unquote civil rights from an uncivilized man. This is what you have going on.
Right.
So we behind schedule. You understand? We are behind schedule, man. I mean, and this right here is, and you're gonna see. Watch what I tell you. You're going to see a lot of blacks on the left give him a pass because they have their own political interests at game. They're already threw in their bid with Joe Biden. He's already the Democratic nominee, and they have thrown in their bid, and they don't. Of course, they threw Bernie Sanders under the bus. He was a little too radical for him, a little too was some white communist or whatever the hell he was. They threw him under the bus. So now, all cards are on Joe Biden. They know that. They betting the ticket. They betting the farm on Joe Biden. So now they're going to throw that under the rug and defend him on his record and defend the statement that he made because of their own interest. This is what you're dealing with here.
Right.
So now, if I could, let me get Deuteronomy 28:9. That was a good point that Captain Azania brought out too.
Excellent.
Deuteronomy 28:9.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 9. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn
the Lord. The Bible says the Lord going to establish us a holy people, meaning the Lord set the cultural boundaries for us to be established. A holy people meaning separate people, not an integrated people, not an assimilated people, a separate people. The word holy means to be separated.
Right.
Keep going.
Come. If thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God and walk in his ways.
What verse is that?
And all people.
Keep going.
Come. Verse 10. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid
you see that?
of thee.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Salak. And they shall be afraid of thee.
You see that? They will fear us if we turn to the Lord. Do you understand? The Lord is the master. He's the master of strategy.
Right.
He knows how to deal with everything. The Bible says the Lord is a man of war. And politics and warfare is similar.
Right.
It's just warfare without bloodshed, but it's still warfare nonetheless. Right. You got to understand how to deal with these things to get yourself in a position. Right now, even in this pandemic, we have a way to get ourselves in position where we can be powerful.
That's right.
If we would turn to the hierarchy, the righteous hierarchy that the Lord has set forth. There's a way to conquer in any situation, in any terrain, if you have a good war strategy. And this is what we're trying to tell our people. Trying to let you know that these people, they don't have our interest. There are traitors among us. You understand?
That's right.
All those people that endorse him should be putting their endorsement and saying we pull it out because you have disrespected us as a nation as a whole. But they don't have any integrity. The going price for a black man's integrity now is a little of a nut, which is why we say they have made black people look cheap, these politicians. Every year, around this time, You understand? This is what they do. If I can get let me get another scripture. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5, which is a part of cultural, the word cultural appropriation that we brought out earlier. You understand? You feeling, and let me tell you something, that has to do with white supremacy and white privilege. Right. Because anytime you feel so privileged enough, you can tell black people what validates blackness. And you a 77-year-old white man, you haven't been black one day in your life.
Oh, man.
It just go to show you the bribe, how they down talkers, man. And our leaders, they sit back. It should be a goddamn outrage right now. Right. They should be throwing Joe Biden campaign posters in the streets, setting them on. If this was white people, it would be a full out riot right now.
And Cap, if
you
I
understand, may, you see what Trump is doing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just real quick, Adawan. And it was said to Charlemagne the God. So right there, that's like Charlemagne the God should be doing like an all-out right campaign, you know, of how he was disrespected because it was said to him. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, there's really no power. Exactly. You know what I'm saying that he has. Like it was said to you, Charlemagne. So you know, he should be like, hey man, I'm gonna spearhead this movement, and this man said this to me. But in fact, when it first was said to him, he just went around, you know. I mean, he got staggered. He got staggered with that overhand right. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, all right, go ahead and get that for him.
Right.
Deuteronomy 4 and 5.
Oh yeah, it's definitely damage control. You're gonna see the Democratic Party. They're gonna probably have some other people on that now what they're doing now, they're trying to do damage control because trust me, they listening to us. They listening to the radical, quote unquote, what they consider radical,
right?
And they know we have more of a voice now because a lot of these millennials, they don't listen to these civil rights leaders no more. These millennials are listening to the ISUPK.
Correct.
Let me just get it out there.
Right. Exactly.
These young brothers, we got brothers coming in here, 18 years old, 17-year-old, 20-year-old brothers, 20-year-old sisters. We got young brothers and sisters coming up in here, man.
Right.
You understand?
Right. Intelligent too.
So they seeing the tide has changed. Those civil rights leaders, a lot of them dying out. You ain't heard them from John Lewis. I mean, a lot of all these people. What's the one out there in Baltimore? He just passed away. A lot of them kicking the bucket, man. A lot of them is kicking the bucket.
That's right.
And that dream you seeing that's starting to fade. You understand? Right. But remember this. Paul said this. That day ain't going to come unless there be a falling away. Falling away from his Christianity, his political system, his economic system, his way of life.
That's right.
There has to be a falling away from him culturally, spiritually.
Right.
You understand? That has to happen first. And we are on the cusp of that right now.
Damn right.
Come on, brother.
All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5, if you can, my brother.
Come on, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded thee.
You see that Moses told the people, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Right.
Understand one thing, black people. Statutes and judgments are tied to your culture. Remember what I said in the beginning.
That's right.
Culture, the definition of the word culture is a way of life. The race of people includes the beliefs, the values, and the system of social and institutional structures to deal with every aspect of life. That's what laws and statutes and commandments are given. That decides your culture. Right. What you wear, who you have sex with, who you not to have sex with, what you eat, how you dress, which is why we say the race card is the most powerful. General Mayak said it. He said it even better. He said the race card is the only card in the deck.
Oh, good.
He even drove it even home.
That's it.
Because without the race card, you don't have your own government. You forfeit your right to have your own government, your own education system, your own medical system, all of that. You forfeit that when you lose your race card. You understand? Keep going, my brother.
One time, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your
But
understanding.
this is your what?
This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight
Do you
of
understand something, brothers and sisters? These laws, statutes, and commandments are your wisdom and understanding. Your Christian pastors then threw this away for the Democratic Party.
Mm.
Your Christian pastors then threw these laws, statutes, and commandments away for Joe Biden.
Damn.
You understand? And even for Donald Trump too, because you got black Republicans on that side. Both of them is Uncle Tom's. You understand? So they have threw that away, threw our culture away, and now you get mad when a white man tells you that you ain't black enough. But who do you really blame? Who's supposed to be the Cavaliers and the firewall for this type of disrespect? It's supposed to be your leadership.
That's right.
He shouldn't be able to speak in no black city in America after a statement like that. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
That's what they would say if we were to turn to the Lord, brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
If we were to take back on our culture. If we were to take back on our culture, our identity, our God, they would say this is a wise and understanding people. They wouldn't be trying to tell you what you ain't. They would be trying to be like you. You understand? They were trying to follow you. They would know what you know is right, because why? You would be following what God said, and the light of the Lord would be on you. You understand? One more on this, brother. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33, and we're going to get off of it.
Come. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways?
Do you understand what that scripture is saying? Why you trim your ways to seek love? We trim our ways to be a part of this goddamn culture, their culture. You understand? We trim our ways to seek love, and that is what integration did for us. Remember, I said earlier, it was a Trojan horse that destroyed our culture. God, right. Our God decided our culture, not the white man, not any other race of people. You understand? So integration, what it did, it made us okay for not to be black, to not to be who we are, and it made them okay for them to be who we are, or to say who we are. That's what integration did. It was a cultural shift. It was a cultural experiment that failed, because we still dealing with the problem 60-something odd years later. We still dealing with racism, so it failed.
That's right. Right.
And I dare anybody to tell me that it didn't goddamn fail, because we had a lynching not too long ago in Georgia.
Damn.
Called a citizen's arrest. You can't even call it a citizen's arrest because it was a citizen's execution.
Oh, good night.
The hell that's supposed to mean? Keep going, brother.
Come. Verse 34. Also in thy...
I'm sorry, that's it. That's it right there. That's it off of that right there. We got time for another script, another story. I want y'all.
Come on. I just want to give a shout out, because the chat, chat is on
fire,
man. Give a shout out, man, to Sharaba Nath Yahabada, always in the chat, right? All over Israel and everybody's classes, man. We got Dwayne Davis in the building as well. Zion Ban Yahabada, you know what I'm saying? My brother all the way, you know what I'm saying, from Mississippi in the building, man, back. You know what I'm saying? In full effect. UPK Lahagan in the building, all right? Along with Nayam, Pleasant Sister, Princess Kwamayawath is in the building. Officer Shaparya Allah out of Lake Charles, Louisiana is in the building, along with Yuraban Yahawadah out of from the Dallas camp, okay? We have, let me see, looks like Jania. Let me see, we said Captain Azania is in the building as well, out of Syracuse, holding it down. And we got Kanak, right, all the way from Rio Grande Valley. Big up to Trooper Canuck out in Rio Grande, man. We got San Antonio in the house. Trooper Gabar. Trooper Gabar is in the building, along with Tennessee in the building. What up, Tennessee? Naquan Yahweh is in the building, man. We're going to bring it back all the way to Austin, Texas. We got young man Trayvon Hobbs in the building, along with, let me see, we got Napash Khaya, and, of course, all the way North Carolina. Right, my brother in this business, man, y'all know what it is. Officer of 1,000, UPK Dawada is in the building, along with George Sanders. Let me see, West Virginia. We got big captain, man. West Virginia, man. Israelites in the building. You know what I'm saying? And along, of course, like I say, y'all, with no further ado, we have big priest from the Midwest. Okay, as if you didn't know. Now you know, okay? Mawa Quad is in the building, man. Captain 13,000. And we rocking it out right now with Priest and Captain 13,000, Kahan Thumyard, and I, myself, the host of Boot Up and Shut Up Radio, Priest and Officer 5,000 on your Allah. Let's go ahead and get into this, Cap.
Yeah, we doing it in UPK. We doing it in a major way, man. I mean, if you ain't getting with this, I don't know what time it is. I don't know what you're getting with. You understand? Right. I mean, they got the goddamn death clock in Chime Square right now with Trump name on the damn death clock. So listen, I think it's about that time. You understand? I think about that time that you link up with your brothers and sisters, and you really learn what you get reinstituted, re-educated, or readopted into what your culture is, which is what Paul did. What do you think Paul was doing when he was going throughout those different schools, those different territories? All up in Europe and those different areas, man. Right. He was reintroducing those. That's why the Bible talks about the adoption.
Good night.
You understand? He was adopting them back into their culture.
Right.
What you think Commander General Yohana do? He's a bridge for us back to the Lord. Make no mistake about it. For all the naysayers. You understand? So let's go to story number 7, my brother.
All right, story number 7. Let's go ahead and get story number 7. We in here. All right, story number 7, y'all. Trump declares House of Worship essential, pressuring governors to let them reopen. Okay?
Now, we told you before that you wasn't going back to church until Donald Trump said you can go back to church. We told you that, but I want to tell you this. First and foremost, Donald Trump is not a man of the Lord.
Right. And
let me tell you something else. He's doing this to appease his large white evangelical following. If you a pastor out there, or if you are involved in any church or any kind of, if you black, Hispanic, Native American, involved in any kind of religion out there, you are not to go back to church. Hear me clearly. Okay? I'm telling you right now, the Lord has placed these churches on a very long, extended financial fast. And they are not allowed to break that financial fast.
Come on now.
Okay? Breaking that financial fast will cost their members their lives and yours. So do not listen to any church telling you to go back to church. We're telling you as prophets of the Lord does not want you to go back to church.
That's right.
Okay? You do not, and this story that we get to them, we're going to go into stories where people have opened up churches and people have gotten more sick. They got back to church, open it up, and more people than caught the virus and died.
That's right, Cap.
So you got to understand when the Lord's hand is against something, he does not want you to go back to church. Now, you ain't got to believe what we're saying. You can gamble with your life if you want to. But the Lord told the prophets, he told us, that when we see the sword come and blow the trumpet, and if they don't take heed, then their blood is going to be upon them, not us. Your pastor not blowing. He's so concerned about getting money. He don't want to oblige to the financial fast that the Lord has instituted upon the land.
Good night. Oui.
The church, these Christian churches and these Muslim mosques are not essential. The UPK, we're essential because we always open. We always in the streets. We always close to the people. We always there, like the prophets have always been.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead, brother. Keep going.
So now, President Trump on Friday commanded America's governors to immediately reopen churches and other places of worship shuttered by the coronavirus pandemic, threatening to override the state leaders if they refuse to follow the directive. Now, speaking at a previously unannounced news briefing at the White House, the president revealed that officials at the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention were issuing guidance for communities of faith and declared houses of worship, churches, synagogues, and mosques to be essential places that provide essential services. Some governors have deemed liquor stores and abortion clinics as essential, but have left out churches and other houses of worship. Trump told reporters, "It's not right. So I'm correcting this injustice and calling houses of worship essential." Trump emphasized he was instructing governors to allow places of worship to resume operations right now, and warned that if there's any question, they're going to have to call me, but they are not going to be successful in that call. It is unclear whether the president is legally empowered to compel the nation's governors to take such an action. If the White House moves to enforce his order in defiance of opposition by local officials, Trump could force a constitutional clash over one of the fundamental freedoms enshrined in the First Amendment. Now,
if I could, there's a separation of church and state.
Not here.
So now he's pushing the limit. He want to push the limit for them to reopen. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those pastors, they on his payroll also.
Right.
You understand? A lot of them, they got some of them the triple P loan. You understand? So and I'm gonna tell you this: it's because of them. A lot of them churches that Planned Parenthood is flourishing. So he's trying to open them, but then you have the issue of the states' rights. So now, and we already in a constitutional crisis. You on that, on top of a pandemic, which puts the economy already. We in a wartime economy right now.
Right.
For those who don't know, the economy right now is I mean, you got how many people? I mean, it's a large amount of people that's on unemployment, which really constitutes a recession. It hasn't been like this since World War II.
Right.
So you already in, you know what I'm saying, him trying to open the churches. Why do he need the churches? I'm showing you. Because the churches pacify the people. That's why he needs the churches open.
Man.
The churches are going to pacify. When you don't have the churches open, you can't pacify a large amount of people.
Lie to
so what does that mean? What does that mean now?
Right.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ward.
Yeah, no, I was going to throw that in there. Lie to them, make it sound fly to them. And that's what they want.
Exactly.
Right? It gets to the point that people would rather believe the lie. They would rather believe that COVID-19 is completely over and that we can reopen and it's all behind us, which is a complete lie, which is the same as, when your tooth falls out, the tooth fairy is going to come and bring it to you. It's going to give you some money. Santa Claus is going to come down the chimney, it's going to be a glorious time, and dressed like goons and goblins, and doing Halloween, and I mean, we can just have a great time and ignore what the real meaning of Thanksgiving is and how many people America slaughtered and killed. Live in a fantasy world, and that's what church is. It's just another fantasy world for people to ease the pain for the ones who don't. Well, I don't want to say that because you can't say that no more, Cal. But what I was gonna say is for the ones that aren't, all the way hooked on Oxycontin. They're not all the way hooked on heroin and drugs and speed and crack. They're just hooked on Christianity, which is also a drug more than all of them. See what I'm saying? So yeah, they need that Christianity in there to be able to sedate the people in order to make them lackadaisical and keep them pacified. Right? You got it.
That what you're saying is right, brother, because the church works for, the secret behind this is that the church works for the state. Christianity, what the Bible talks about, the mystery of Babylon. When it talks like these religions help promote and help to hold up the system. You understand? The same thing with Rome. Rome, they had many gods in Rome,
Right.
but they all upheld the system. How can an empire last that long with many gods unless they're all under one race, which was the white man? They all their offerings and things were taxed to the state,
Right.
to the empire. You understand? And it's all a hustle, man. And that's what you see going on. So he's trying to get these churches open because people they're starting to be unrest. People are starting to get upset, and America is on the verge of another labor movement if these people keep dying in these meat plants and these auto plants. See, that's the other thing he don't want. So they trying to figure a way to quell this thing, but the Lord then got this thing on fire. And when the Lord when the empire's time is getting ready to be up, it ain't nothing they can do. I mean, he's history.
That's right.
You understand?
Con.
You don't care how strong, how many stripes you got on your flag, how many stars you got on the flag. He's gonna put out every star on that flag and cover every stripe on that flag until it's over.
That's right.
You understand? And and this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. What you see what the Lord is doing. Keep reading, my brother.
Con. All right. So now, challenged on Trump's authority to unilaterally open places of worship. White House Press Secretary Kayla McEnany, said at a briefing Friday the administration would, quote, leave it to faith communities to reopen, unquote, and pointed to detailed guidance from the federal government about the way you can clean your facility and promote social distancing. So, again, but soon after
this... If I could, I want y'all... This is what they don't understand. That this spiritual... It don't get me wrong, it manifests in the physical, but the church is an unclean place. Why is it a spiritual unclean place? Because they teach unclean things. They have a servant of the gods. So it's going to manifest. You're going to get sick because you're in an unclean place. The Bible has a law on uncleanness and what clean and what unclean is. And the Lord told us not to touch not the unclean thing. You're going to learn the meaning of unclean now in this pandemic. It's things that you are not to partake in that can get you sick. That can get you plagued. And the church is the main one. Above all. Keep going, my brother.
Come. Absolutely correct. So now, but soon after his remarks at the White House, the president was confronted with resistance from state and local executives. Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo said she would not alter her state's plan to reopen places of worship on May 30th, and Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot also announced her city would ignore Trump's demand. Quote, by no means can the president order any locality and state to do something that he doesn't have the power to do, Lightfoot said. And he can't do that here. Now, the CDC's guidelines, released after weeks of internal debate and scrutiny over leaked drafts, offer detailed measures for how places of worship can start to safely open, while advising them to consult with the state and local authorities. In contrast with the earlier leaked guidelines, the agency didn't recommend a phased reopening and instead laid out recommendations for how faith-based communities can promote safety, hygiene, and social distancing. For instance, the agency suggested groups consider suspending or decreasing how often choirs are used, as well as congregant singing and chanting during a service, if appropriate.
Hold on. That's the whole church.
Ain't nobody going to church, Cap.
That's the whole church.
That's it. If they can't sing and play that tambourine, it's over. That's amazing.
Right.
They don't want no epithelial cells flying around there, huh? They don't want no spit flying around, I guess.
Come on, hey, so what you see now, the Lord is taking bread and your circle away from you. So now, and this is why we say the church is not of the Lord. Because a lot of you Christians out there under the sound of my voice that used to go to church, and now you look and your pastor has not given you the spiritual forecast on what's going on. You need a word in your life. You need something. You need someone who may not be able to touch you, but able to connect with you. Right. Well, brothers and sisters, you have tuned in to the Israelite School of UPK.
That's right. And
brothers and sisters, this is the place where you're going to get spiritually fed. You're going to get fulfilled. You're going to learn what the Bible says. You're going to learn your pastors have failed, which is why the Lord has suspended them. Do you know what's going on in the spiritual realm? The Lord has suspended these pastors from their position, which is why they can't get on the pulpit in the church and teach in front of thousands of people now.
Man, it's over.
They are suspended, and they are about to be removed. And if they don't let go power, the Lord would take it by force.
That's right.
Like he has done with 33 of these clergy, they have died for the coronavirus. He is going to do it. The Lord said that the false prophet would receive death. He said that out of his own mouth. Take me to Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1, my brother, please.
Uh-oh, let's get it. I love this verse. Come on with it. No tambourine, no singing. How's that going to work out? Hold on, what you mean? We actually have to be reading the Bible and taking notes on the Bible?
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Woe to the rebellious
nice, nice and loud, brother. Nice and loud.
Some more into it.
Come on, sir. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Those that take counsel, not of me, they taking counsel of Donald Trump, the Lord gonna deal with you. You hear me right now?
Right.
You pastors out there that take, and you members of these churches, if your pastor listen to Donald Trump and open up these churches,
right,
you taking counsel, but not of the Lord.
Uh-oh.
The Lord will let you know his counsel through the prophet. The
right.
church is right now on a very long, extended financial fast. You are not to be open. Okay, the ISUPK is telling you right now, do not go back to church. Keep reading.
Come on. Take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. That they may add
They want to be covered. If I could, Salakia. They cover with a covering, but not of his spirit. Christians love to say they covered in the blood. But the Lord wants you to be covered in his spirit.
Right.
See, that's the difference between righteousness, a person that's carnal minded and spiritual minded. You're supposed to be covered in the spirit of the Lord. I brought out before, a couple of episodes ago, how the Pharisees said they would be covered in his blood because they were murderers. They were murderers. They said, let his blood be upon us and our children.
Right.
I've showed you that in the New Testament. So now we're back to being covered. The covering has to do with a spiritual covering. And you're not covered in the spirit. You're covered in the blood, and the blood of Christ being that you are murderers. Even he told the disciples, he said, take this is my blood, take the wine, represents my blood, drink it.
Right.
You understand? He didn't say pour the wine on you. He said put me inside of you.
Right. Come on.
Do what I do. Say what I say.
Right.
Go where I go. Be against what I'm against. That's what he said.
Right.
Keep going, brother.
Come. That they may add sin to sin.
You see that? You adding sin to sin. You gonna go in there, you gonna teach them a lie, and they're gonna die for it. Go ahead.
Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen.
You see that? the Lord is exposing these false prophets.
Right.
They're going down to Egypt. America is spiritually Egypt all over again.
That's right.
Trump is like Pharaoh.
Right.
And the Lord is hardening his heart. Mm-hmm. The Lord, you can clearly see the Lord is hardening Trump's heart.
That's right.
And guess what these pastors going to do? They're going to go down, they're going to say, Trump said open it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to open it. And they didn't ask the Lord. They didn't say, so really Trump is your God. If you open it, if you're going to open the house of worship, quote unquote, the house of God, as you would call it, if you need permission from Trump to do it, so Trump is your God. Trump is your spiritual authority.
Right.
And if you don't listen to what God is saying, God does not want these churches to open. We're telling you now in the RSUPK, if you got any spiritual understanding, you will understand what we're saying to be true.
Oh man,
God does not want these churches open.
Cap, I gotta drop something. I gotta drop it because it ain't came up yet. Okay, the ones in Michigan, right? The ones in Michigan who took to the steps of the Capitol and the AR-15s and the 50 cals and act like a bunch of hoodlums screaming and breaking all types of laws and the social distancing. Those people right there, right? What did the Lord do the next following week or two? He caused the two dams to break in Michigan.
Exactly.
I mean, listen, Cap. That's Cap, man. Listen, man. Stuff like that, Cap. Events like that, man, that happen. Let me know out of it. It's definitely spiritual. And if the Lord don't want you to reopen, He don't give a damn about your AR-15, how much you gonna scream, how close you get to the Capitol steps, taking pictures, looking like a militia. The Lord don't care about none of that, man. See what I'm saying? And when the people gonna realize the Lord move in the tempest? That He moves in the cyclones and hurricanes and tornadoes and bugs and locusts and any other thing He wants to get other than presenting Himself as a man. Like when are these people gonna realize that? You see what I'm saying? Like that super heavy Cap. When that happened, I woke up the next morning, I just fell out. I was like, it never ceased to fail, because when you in the truth, Commander Junior Hunter just keep on saying it back to back, like the stories of Egypt are real. Okay, the same way Esau has a character, the same way Esau responds, and you can say, you know what, that's the devil. You know what I'm saying? Because he has a history of this and a history of that. Okay, well, so does the Most High. That's how you can tell the way the Most High works. And He uses the same retaliation forms to get you in line. And you gonna get in line. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, it's amazing. Go ahead, you got it, okay? I just want to put that out there,
No, what you say is super heavy, brother. I mean, remember, like what you said, in the beginning, the Bible said the Spirit of the Lord moved upon the face of the waters.
Right.
So the Lord, let me tell you something, man. Like He'll call a flood, any damn thing He want to do, man. Like it's just going to show you that these people they playing with a power they don't comprehend, and they don't comprehend the Lord. They don't fear the Lord. And what you said earlier about social distancing is spiritual, because the Lord is doing that on the spiritual level also. Spiritual distancing, which is what He's doing. He's making a separation. It's what He did during the Tower of Babel. He made a separation.
Right.
You understand? He separated the people through languages. You understand? The whole earth was a one language and one speech. He separated them. And that is the time that we are living in. You don't understand. The Bible said there's a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing.
That's it, man.
A time to join and a time to loose.
That's right.
And this is the time we're in. Good, that time of loving everybody and joining everybody, that time is over with. That time is gone, brothers and sisters.
And if I
we letting you know that the Lord now has pushed the reset button.
And
things are going to go back to the way they were supposed to be. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
No. I'm just relaying the super chat from Captain Mama Quad. He's right on. He's spot on with what you're saying. He says, it says you may never be going back to work. You may never be going back to school or nothing else. This is a wound that America will never recover from. That's heavy, Cap. Exactly what spot on what Captain Marvel Quad just said, because this is the new normal. Right. And see, the white man, this is what he can't deal with. He can't deal. Remember,
he would sacrifice people. He would always put profit over people, especially us. He would always do that, which is why he's opening, which is why when we dying, he says, look, go back to work, meaning he's willing to put us on the, he's willing to sacrifice us on the altar of the stock market for the Dow Jones and for the NASDAQ.
Good.
Meaning you're going to die in order to keep his economy going. Ain't that Egypt?
All the way.
Ain't that what happened in Egypt?
Come out of one con. That's it.
This is textbook oppression. And oppression is systematic. You got to understand oppression from the top down, not from the bottom up. That's why you got to be wise to understand oppression. Your leaders have failed. Commanding General Hunter has been appointed. He has been anointed and appointed.
Right.
And it ain't no getting around it. And it's only a matter of time before we, like the Bible said, the saints going to take the kingdom. I'm going to tell you right now. Let me just get blunt with you.
Get ready for
it. The saints are going to take the kingdom.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
That's right.
And we doing it spiritually right now because we having a field day on their ass on these live streams, these pastors and stuff trying to do. You think we ain't in there listening? We ain't posting. We ain't, and they don't want to punch us in because they know it's going down. When they punch us in, they know who we are.
That's it.
Keep going, my brother. Any more in that scripture?
Come on,
let's get it. Right up.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm. This is what they do in the political parties. This is what they do when they look for validation from Pharaoh. How you strengthen yourself in Pharaoh, meaning you want to get entrenched in what he says and what he decrees. The Lord said they done that, and guess what? Keep reading. This will happen when they strengthen themselves in Pharaoh.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Do you know what it means to be in the shadow of Egypt?
Man.
Meaning, to be in the shadow of something, meaning you're not an American.
Man.
You living in the shadows of America.
Oh,
I'll never forget when I was reading some articles about our Hispanic brothers and sisters, our Latino brothers and sisters, who they call illegal immigrants, which is a disgrace for them to even call them that.
Sure is.
When they're quote unquote more indigenous to this land than any other people on this land. And for them to call them that, but I remember them saying they are living in the shadows. I remember reading an article where they said the Latino brothers and sisters are living in the shadows of America. And when I read that article, this scripture stuck out to me. This scripture hit home to me.
That's heavy, man.
When he said we live in the shadow of Egypt, we trust in the shadow. We trust in the shadow of America. We've never been American. We've never been American. We never experienced the full rights of being American. Because if we did, we'd have to march and get dog sick on us just for goddamn civil rights, for human rights.
Damn.
We trusted in the shadow of this place.
That's cold, man.
Keep going.
Come on, let's get it.
That's it on the scripture.
Okay, that's it. All right.
What, that was verse 3?
Come on, sir.
Take me to Exodus chapter
verse
32.
3. No, was that verse 3?
Nah, sir.
Okay, cool. He needs to read verse 3 out of 1. Well, let's get it.
Okay, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? The strength of Pharaoh gonna be, you listen to Donald Trump and you open those churches, that's gonna be your shame. Man. Because half of your congregation gonna drop dead.
Man.
Or all of your congregation gonna drop dead. And you know you got those grandmothers, you got brothers and sisters, grandmothers in those churches. You got founding members in those churches, and you don't care enough about them to not close the church, God be against you.
Man.
You don't care enough about them to close the church because you worried about some goddamn tithes and offerings, which you are stolen from the real priests and prophets of the Lord. For to drive a Rolls Royce or to fix your mansion, then God be against you. God be against you. Any more on that, brother?
Come on, sir.
It's good.
Keep going.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
You see that? confusion. And these be the main people talking about God speaking to them. Well, if God's speaking to you, how all of a sudden, so God's speaking through Donald Trump? Is that what you telling me?
Yeah, right.
You mean to tell me God is speaking to Mr. Grab her by the, you know what himself is
Right.
speaking to him?
Right. Donald Dump.
Nah. Right.
Right.
You're gonna get your members killed. And I'm gonna tell you, if your pastor say the Lord told him to go back to church, tell him you a goddamn liar. Tell him that Donald Trump ain't your God. Matter of fact, do one better. You sign up for the Israelite School of UPK. Link up with the Israelite School of UPK. You understand? We will, quote unquote, minister to you and teach you what's right and give you your daily bread spiritually.
That's right.
We will give that to you. We will make sure that you got heat in this summertime. I mean, air conditioning in this summertime.
Right.
That you ain't up there sitting up in the house baking while you're pastor in a luxury mansion or a suite downtown chilling with his prostitutes.
What
Take me to Exodus chapter.
No, I'm saying.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Real quick. And the prostitute might be a male prostitute. Salaki. Go ahead. That's when throw that in.
Oh, brother. Right. I want y'all to don't get me started, brother. You just said a mouthful now. You about to make me. You about to make me go all the way.
Say, we go back about 2 or 3 stories. You know what I'm saying? To that.
Brother, I'm telling you, brother, we gonna have to go all the way off. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Woo.
Let me get Exodus chapter 32, verse 35, if I could, my brother. The book of Exodus, 32, chapter 32, and verse 35. For those who out there listening, if you have a Bible or if you have a Bible app, the King James Version is the most accurate version of the scriptures according to the Hebrew Scrolls. You can follow along. We encourage you to read along. Go ahead.
Come. Exodus chapter 32, verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord plagued the people because they made the calf which Aaron made.
You understand? You want to know why a lot of us are dying because of this virus? Because we always wanted to have someone have an idol to stand between us and the Most High. So the Lord plagued us. You understand? The Lord, let me tell you something. You want this plague to stop from among us? Put away these gods. Put away these false idols. Put away these unclean things. And watch the plague depart from us.
That's right.
This is what you have to do. Which is why the Lord shut these churches. Why do you think everybody dying when they go to church? I mean, every article I've been seeing is people dying when they go to church.
Right.
You can't say it's coincidence if you spiritual.
Right. Well, we got one more after
What
this.
is God telling you?
That's right. That's right. We got
You
one more after
understand?
this. Yeah, we got one more after this, Cal. We're gonna get the other story in with the preacher. Just like you said, the preacher, that's curing everybody.
Okay, well,
Gonna get that in.
yeah, let's get, matter of fact, while you said, let's go to Job 12 and chapter 12, verse 14, and let's get right into that. Because that's going to segue into what we're talking about.
Job chapter
That's
12.
going to even more segue. Since all the naysayers out there saying that we church bashing and we
Right.
all this, with the God is against the churches, man.
That's right.
He wants you to come out of that place, man.
Job
chapter 12, verse 14.
Come. Job chapter 12, verse 14. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening.
Do you understand that?
Ooh, wait, they better.
The Lord, the doors of the church are closed.
Huh.
I'm telling you right now, the doors of the church are closed. The only way, I'm going to tell you this for all you pastors out there who may be listening, for all you members of the church, if you want to get your doors open again, your pastor has to turn over the keys to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
That's it. Only way. That's it.
I'm telling you right now,
Right.
because there's only one man who's sanctioned and authorized to be doing this work and teaching brothers and sisters to do what's right and teaching brothers the right way, and that's Commanding General Yohanan.
That's right, Cap.
That's the hierarchy, right? I'm just telling you, and you're going to see it. A lot of you going to see it before it's too late. A lot of you going to see it's going to be too late. The only way is for you to reach out like Nicodemus did. Come to us by night if you have to. Email us. Come to us. Ask, bring, and don't come empty-handed. It's not the tradition of the Bible to come before a prophet of the Lord empty-handed. So when you come to meet Commander General Yohanan, make sure you don't come empty-handed. Bring your peace offering. Bring all the things that the Lord requires.
Right.
When you ask to the mouth of a man of the Lord. You understand? Because as of now, when the Bible says that what the Lord has shut, no man can open, Donald Trump can't open what the Lord has shut. And you about to see that right now. They're going to be carrying them people out of them churches with body bags in a minute.
Ooh-wee.
You understand? That's what the hell's going to be happening.
Right.
And you're going to see it. It's always somebody that try to power the Lord. It's always. That's just how mankind is. These heathens are. They love to test the power of the Lord. And when he's tested, he's always found to be right. Always. His word ain't going to return void.
Sure ain't.
You can believe that. You think you going to listen to the white man and listen, and you going to say the Bible's over because he says it's over? You basically saying he God. God going to show you the contrary. You got it, Alma Yala. What we got next, brother?
All right, everybody. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. You know, we at the top of the hour. We're going to take it another 10 minutes, 12 minutes. We got one more article that we're going to get into, all right? So, again, if you have not shared this, make sure you share this. You missed the show tonight. Also rocking out with us, Priest and Captain 13,000 Mile Choir called in. We even had Priest and Captain Azania from Syracuse, New York, man, chiming in as well, man. You know what I'm saying? So you brothers, hey, they all in the chat room. All right, boot up or shut up. Everybody know what time it is, man. Rough, rugged, and raw. Live right now with Priest and Captain 13,000, Kahan Thumyard, in the building also with the host, that is me, Priest and Officer, Awanya Allah, rocking it out, all right? So now, let's get to the last story for the night, everybody. Pastor, right? This is the pastor now who healed coronavirus sufferers by laying his hands on them, dies from COVID-19, sparking fear
You see that?
among his followers.
You see-
Cameroon.
You see that?
That's right.
And this is a heathen. Once again, when you try to self-proclaim or self-anoint yourself or self-appoint yourself
Man.
to being a man of God, this is what happens. And this is a heathen. And he proclaimed that he was healing people from the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And I want y'all to correct me if I'm wrong. I remember when this first hit, a lot of the pastors were shutting their doors automatically because people were dropping dead.
Right. Con. They were.
I remember that.
Right.
And a lot of the pastors were some of the ones who were saying they had the power to heal. They had the power to lay hands. So what happened to all that power all of a sudden? You see, you got to understand a false prophet, man. Give me the scripture where the Lord say that if something come to pass, then if the man prophesied it come to pass, he's a man of the Lord. But if he don't come to pass, he's not a man of the Lord.
Go to Deuteronomy.
There's a scripture that say that.
Deuteronomy
You can keep reading.
All right, come. All right, so now, here we go, everybody. We are getting into it. It is a pastor, right, who laid his hands on dozens of confirmed and suspected coronavirus sufferers, dies of the illness on Saturday. Franklin Defoe, 39 years old, a candidate in the Central African state of Cameroon's presidential election in 2018, claimed to cure COVID-19. In previous weeks, sufferers had flocked to the Kingship International Ministries Church found by Defoe, where he laid his hands on them and prayed for their healing. Okay, this is what's reported now. Okay, by the Voice of America News. Now, his let me get back over here where I was. All right, let me get back down here. Now, his let me get right here. Now, his supporters, okay, I don't know why this thing's just jumping around, but his supporters called him a prophet. And not only they called him a prophet, and blocked the entrance to his home in the capital city of Douala for 8 hours as medical staff tried to revive DeFore's body on Saturday morning. Okay, Dr. Gaeli Nanga, who was called to treat DeFore after he started suffering severe respiratory difficulties a week after falling ill with the virus, said the pastor died 10 minutes after treatment. Good night. The governor of the coastal 10 minutes, Cap. With no time to lay no hands. All right. The governor of the coastal region said a police force had to be deployed when supporters blocked the entrance to his home and claimed the pastor was on a spiritual retreat with God, so could not be buried. All right, with God, so could not be buried. All right, so that's supposed to be it. Now a little bit more. They sang and they prayed for his resurrection throughout the week. He was buried in front of the house on the day of his death. Follower Rigobert Che said the prophet prayed for him and several dozens others who had been diagnosed with or were suspected of having COVID-19. This is a pastor that has been laying hands on the sick and claiming that he cures COVID-19, Chi said. If you, the person that claims that you are curing COVID-19, you are dead, what about the fellow people that were affected by the COVID-19? Okay, so maybe he was.
Exactly.
Maybe he was giving them COVID-19. Now,
listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I want to say one thing. This proves more that these religions and institutions are false, and showing these heathens definitely is called themselves men of God. The Lord is definitely not with them, and you're gonna see a lot more of this. You understand? If you're not careful, listen to me, brothers and sisters. Why the Bible says you walk by faith, not by sight. If you're not careful, your lust will divorce you from reality. Pay attention to what I'm telling you tonight. Your lust. Look at these white people that's going out having fun and they can't wait to get out. Trust what I'm telling you. They're going to get exactly what they want.
Oh, man.
The Lord always give you, and like he's any good father. He will allow you to get exactly what you want until you don't want no more.
Give you a rope to hang yourself.
He's gonna do it. Like you don't follow these people. Remember the Bible say they despise government. And these pastors, they so money hungry. And listen, they really prey on the people when times like these. You got these snake oil salesmen out here trying to sell them some miracle oil. They're gonna ship like that bastard Jim Baker. All that, man. Like this is what's going on, and it cost this heathen his life. He's saying he could heal, and it costed his life, and probably cost his family his life too.
Yeah, he out of there.
You understand? The Lord is not playing. When the Bible say you supposed to fear the Lord your God, you better know that right there means in every inch of the word, fear the Lord your God.
That's right. Come.
You want to open the church up right now, you're going to end up just like this pastor right here. I don't give a damn how much you social distance yourself. They're going to turn the AC on, ain't they?
Now, keep going. It says, quote, now this is what they said, Cap. Now that he is dead, I do not know how the people that he was laying hands on will be healed. Okay? Now, DeFore was also donating buckets of soap to people in need, and his last public outing was on April the 20th when he went out to distribute face masks. Another supporter, Kiri Muna, tweeted, so forth and so on. That's the end of that. So, yeah, I don't even want to read the rest of it. But, yeah, I will. It says, a man of great spirituality, right? This guided his entry into the political arena. Cap, that's what you just said. How could?
Mhm.
Let me read it first. If he left this world due to COVID-19, then it must be to remind us of the reality of this pandemic. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Now, I wanted to go back where it said
No.
this guided his entry into the political arena. The Bible is all about politics, and that's how he guided it in the political arena. Like, you know, after Christ, had brought Lazarus from the dead, they all got together, Cap. You see what I'm saying? And all the
Right.
chief, right, and all the
Right.
chief, politicians, and they all of them got together, and they said, "Look, man, we are going to what? Lose our seat." That's politics. Lose our seat, man, with the Romans if we
Right.
don't get rid of this guy. Right?
And you know what?
Christ.
If I could,
Come.
this just goes to show you how politics, how religion is political. I gotta keep saying this,
Man.
and this is a lesson that we teach. Like once again, the ISUPK, we specialize in race relations. We specialize. It ain't no subject you can't bring to us and we can't deal with.
Exactly.
No. You know what I'm saying? So the Bible, like political, the religion is political, which is why we telling you that Donald Trump would make a statement like that. Why is he telling the governors that they should be pressured to open the churches? Because the churches support the state and the state support the churches. The churches is what pacify people when you have these different things. The church gives the message not of Christ, but of the state, of the government. That's what message the church gives. You understand? Like Christ said, "My kingdom is not of this world."
Yeah.
That was a political statement.
That's
that
right.
was he was a radical. He was a revolutionary.
Come.
And until you look at Christ as a black man for who he is, and stop letting society whitewash him, he was a radical. He was an extreme. He was a very disciplined man. You don't know. You try to make Christ like he's a moderate. Christ was an extreme man, a extreme black man.
Exactly.
It takes a man to be extreme to tell a rich man to sell all that he have and give it to the poor and follow him. He told that to a rich man. Now you can't tell me, you telling me that ain't extreme? If somebody say, "Nigga, sell everything you got and you rich," you mean to tell me that ain't extreme? That's extreme.
Oh, that's extreme. Right.
So don't tell me that we gotta be passive and we gotta be moderate.
Right.
No, the Lord. Let me tell you something. You don't understand what kind of man Christ was, man. If he was so moderate, why did they crucify him? We ask you these Christians these questions all the time.
That's it.
So what you saying, I want y'all, is on point, man.
Come.
They lust will divorce them from reality.
Wow.
And which is why you have to be married to the truth.
That's right, Cal.
You have to be married to the truth, man. If you're not married to the truth, this world would take you. And this is what happened. These heathens, they don't stand a chance, man. The Lord is going to wipe them clean of this stuff, man. You're going to see it. He's dealing with us, too. Remember,
Right.
the Lord also said judgment going to begin in my sanctuary.
Ooh-wee.
He's dealing with us, too.
Ooh-wee, man.
So you think he ain't going to deal with these pastors for the mess they doing? Trust me, you better believe. They said 33 pastors, major figures in the African American Christian church, quote unquote, have died from this virus. 33 of them dead.
Listen, Cap, not the hole in
these
the
were
walls,
bishops.
but the mega churches.
The big ones, the ones up there that's right under T.D. Jakes and them, of those pastors, they
Ooh-wee,
dropping
man.
dead, Jack. So and remember, the corona is spiritual because corona stands for crown in
Oh,
Spanish.
man.
The Lord is going to take the crown of these places, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? What the Bible said in Revelation, that the Christ going to wear many crowns. He gonna take the leadership. The Lord he going to cut down the leadership of this place, man. You understand? He done crippled the economy is on life support right now. This pastor here thought somebody hyped him up to believe he was a man of God, gonna go in there and heal people, and he died of the virus. This is what you have. You understand? So these pastors, they seeing what time it is, and you got some. They ain't gonna give a damn about no flock. They don't care if they drop dead, long as that money is in the plate before you fall. They don't care.
Ooh-wee.
Which is why the Lord said there's many false prophets going out into the earth, and they're gonna use it. Gonna come in His name. I mean, they're gonna use His reputation. Christ got the best reputation around, so of course they're gonna use His reputation.
Right.
They're gonna use His reputation for marketing, for marketing tools.
Right.
So they can promote that. They're gonna use Him to promote themselves.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
This is why you can't follow religion, man. Why you gotta follow laws, statutes, and commandments. And this Bible is not for everybody. This Bible is never for Africans. You know what I'm saying? It never was for the Koreans, any other nation. The Lord gave it to one nation, man. One nation only. You understand? He decides. God decides our culture. God decides who we are and what's black, what's Latino, what's Native American Indian. He decides our culture, not no political, not no religious institution.
That's right.
So what we're telling you tonight, brothers and sisters, is to link up with the ISUPK. I want to thank Officer Anwan Yala for having me on. I want to thank the brothers for reading. Thank Captain Mabaquad, Captain Mazania, our brothers and sisters that were listening. I want to thank them for their input, man. Once again, General Muhammad will be in the Houston area, brothers and sisters. I want to say June 4th. Let me just check it out. June 4th all the way to June 7th. So if you want to get in touch with General Muhammad, you want to be there in the place to be, get in contact with Captain Yabdazak. We'll set it up, man. You can come out there, be in the right spirit. Only Israelites, only black, Latino, Native American Indian people are invited. So you want to be there with General Muhammad. They're going to be in the Houston area. So all surrounding areas, make sure you reach out with him. We're going to make sure all brothers and sisters pay your tithes and donations. Support. You got a little extra cash, you can drop a little something for Boot Up and Shut Up, man. We're making this show more user-friendly, more enhanced, where we can, you know what I'm saying, we reach out to the people and do other stuff on the ground level, man. I want to thank Anwan Yala once again for having me on the show. This is Captain Kahan Dumyah reporting live from hell. I'm out of here. Shalom.
Most High in Christ. Hey, and there you have it live, y'all. There you have it live in full effect, man. Just like we told you we would do. You know what I'm saying? Captain Kahan, man, in effect. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. Let me go ahead and get this off here real quick. And, all right, hang that up. And we're going to go ahead and finish this like we always do, all right? Let me go ahead and solo this real quick. Okay? And get this African off my screen because we're done. Okay, here. Hey, listen, man. Big shout out to our warrior in the building, Shabak Wana in the building, man. UPK Kama War, man, in the building. Big priest, man. DC in the house, man. Again, we got Kalam Travis, Hudson Valley Israelites. I see my brothers, man, getting it down. You see what I'm saying up there? On that East Coast, man. Shabaya Allah, what's going on, Shabaya Allah? You know how we do it, man, late night, you know what I'm saying? And my brothers, the Makia, all the way back down to Austin, man, and Killeen, man. Let me see what else we got in the building. We got two captains in the building. I see we got Captain Yagarwap Yahawadah, Oklahoma City in the building, baby, from DC to Oklahoma. Shalom out of one. The Galgabar, you want to make sure, big ups to Captain DeGalgabar. All right, he has classes all during the week in St. Louis, as well as Sharpen the Sword Radio. All right, you want to make sure you catch that. I think that's during the daytime, right? I think at like 1 o'clock Central, somewhere around that time, right? 1 o'clock p.m. Central. But go to St. Louis on Facebook, ISUPK St. Louis, and get that exact time on there, all right? But again, another ISUPK radio affiliate, Captain DeGalgabar putting it down, man. Food drives, you know what I'm saying? Big priest, you know what I'm saying? That Midwest, man, putting it down, man. Big ups out of one. All right, Napash Kaya in the building, as well as Rob Mayan ISUPK. All right, big ups to Rob Mayan ISUPK, man. That's a hardcore brother, man. what I'm saying? That brother right there be taking some hardcore pictures up in that Cali, you know what I'm saying? And guess what? Getting it in, man. I love to see brothers close to my age, you know what I'm saying, getting it in, letting these brothers know that it ain't just, you know, a bunch of crazy youngsters and, out of control teens and, things like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You have some doctors, lawyers, you know what I'm saying? You have some educated brothers that's in here, with PhDs and masters and bachelor degrees, and you have brothers, age 50 and up, as well as, our youngsters, man, in their teens and their 20s, right? So, ISUPK, under Commanding General Yohana, man, is putting together the army of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And the army of the Lord is the ISUPK, you understand what I'm saying? Where real warriors dwell, okay? No other place but the ISUPK, man. All right, so listen, with no further ado, man, y'all know how we do it, man. It's been another episode of Boot Up and Shut Up Radio, man. And, give, a big shout out to all the radio affiliates, that's in the building, all my brothers, you know what I'm saying, that's in the building, man. And, I always got to shout them out, every time, you know what I'm saying? So, just real quick, go ahead and shout out my brothers real quick in the building. The Inconvenient Truth, as we all know, the Inconvenient Truth is every Wednesday. Big ups to Priest and Officer 5000 Khazak Yad out of LA, California. The Inconvenient Truth. Make sure you check that out every Wednesday, man. Bringing some heavy facts and some real history coming in and merging that Northern Kingdom together with the Southern Kingdom to let us know that blacks and Hispanics are Israelites going through the same conditions right here in America, okay? War Council Radio, man. Those are my brothers out of Dallas, man. Make sure you stay tuned for War Council Radio with Captain Yashamar and Officer 5000 Asher Yar, all right? We got Straight Gate Radio. Straight Gate Radio is my brother up in Minnesota, man. That is Quanaya Allah. Make sure you stay tuned for Straight Gate Radio. Dropping some heavy knowledge for all my brothers, man. All right, and sisters. All right, make sure you stay tuned for that as well. All right. Okay, what else we got? We got let me see. We have we are going to have my brothers Sharpen the Sword Radio, as I said earlier, right, with Captain DeGalgabar, right, out of St. Louis. All right. Don't forget my brother Ayah, right, Ayah Zahab. All right, and I got to make sure I pronounce his name right, man. It's all over Facebook, man. Ayah Zahab, right, out of North Carolina, man. Kaboom Radio, man. All right, he's the brother that does just about all of the commercials that you hear, right, and all of the video editing that you see with Commanding General Yohana, this brother right here. Again, big ups to my brother. We speak frequently all the time. A very dedicated brother, man, in the business, right, and a loyal priest and prophet of the Lord. Ayah Zahab, Kaboom Radio. Make sure you check that brother out, all right? We have Take Ground Radio, man. Take Ground Radio is Captain Kapash, man. Captain Kapash out of let me see, where is that at? That's out of Indianapolis Israelites, right? ISUPK, man. All right, that's Captain Kapash and my brother Officer Tarak, all right? Take Ground Radio, make sure you check that out. They have some excellent knowledge and history, right, that they've been dropping for a while. All right, I was looking at Captain Kapash when I first came into the truth, man. I said I got to get into the truth because of the concise and complete breakdowns that brother gives. So, Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh. We got Rude in Speech, man. Rude in Speech is out of Delaware. My niggas is everywhere in Willington, Delaware. All right, you got Officer 5000, Tazayawan, Officer 5000, Matazapah up in Delaware. Make sure you check out Rude in Speech Radio. Again, Rude in Speech Radio. Black Man Media, right? Angry Black Man Media, man. Captain Soccer War, better known to you all as Captain Sock G, along with Captain Ariyah. All right, newly raised up captain, man, putting in the business. Angry Black Man Media, man. All right, you want to make sure you check out their media station. It is highly informative, man. You understand what I'm saying? And make sure you get that. Make sure you get that knowledge coming out right there. Okay. All right. Now, again, in no particular order, we have the Hidden Truth Revealed. All right, the Hidden Truth Revealed is Captain Azaniah. Captain Azaniah is a captain out of Syracuse, New York. You want to make sure you check out the Hidden Truth Revealed. That is going to be right after Let a Hebrew Speak. Let a Hebrew Speak with General Hazayan, and Street Talk with Captain Akkad. That will be tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Central. All right, that will be General Hazayan, Captain Akkad, Let a Hebrew Speak, Street Talk. Want to make sure you have that coming out of Philadelphia. Make sure you are in tune with that. Big ups to Officer Morah. I'm pretty sure he'll be in the building as well, holding it down. All right. Again, and immediately following that segment will be the Hidden Truth Revealed with Captain Azaniah. All right, out of Syracuse, New York, roughly around, I would say 12. I say noon. All right, that'll be noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. You want to make sure you check out that segment as well. Okay. Now, after all of that is over, right? That is a wonderful way to wake up. What a glorious way to wake up, man. All right. Again, you have Cross the Line Radio. Cross the Line Radio is Captain Tazariak and Captain Khatazah. Every Thursday, y'all know what time it is, man. 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, man. All right. Where we are still waiting, for those who think they can to cross the line. Just so you know, no one ever crosses the line. All right. So Cross the Line Radio, man, every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, Captain 13,000 Tazariak and Captain 10,000 Khatazah. All right. And listen, if you haven't looked at the 12 Tribe Chart breakdown by Captain Khatazah, make sure you go and look that up first before you even want to try to challenge the 12 Tribe Chart. Okay. Excellent breakdown by that brother. All right, so now tomorrow on Monday, all right, we have scripture breakdown by 12 Shield General Mahayman. All right, 12 Shield General Mahayman will be in the building, man, live on Facebook. All right, at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That's like 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That's 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. He'll give a scripture breakdown. This allows you all to call in. Not call in, but to ask your questions in the chat room. They have several officers monitoring the chat room for you to be able to get your questions answered. Okay, don't feel embarrassed about your questions. Just make sure that they are respectful, and you come with a pen and a notebook and ready to learn and to hear rather than to try to teach. Okay, tomorrow's scripture breakdown, 12 Shield Journal Mahayman. And guess what? After that, you have the Grill Radio Show. That's right, Black Watch. The Grill Radio Show, man. With Commanding General Yohana, the leader of this great nation, Israel, of the 12 tribes of Israel, first in charge until Christ returns. All right? The Grill Radio Show, Black Watch. If you're having any trouble getting on Black Watch, you want to make getting on the Grill Radio Show, rather, you want to make sure that you go to Black Watch. Okay? BLACKWATCH, Black Watch. All right? Two separate words. Type in Black Watch on YouTube, subscribe to Black Watch on YouTube, and hit the notification bell to where you can get all of the latest videos and all the latest Corona breakdowns by Commanding General Yohana. All right? Again, the Grill Radio Show tomorrow, y'all, at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. All right? You got the leader of this great nation of Israel, Commanding General Yohana, live on the Grill Radio Show. Black Watch is the new channel. All right? So now, with no further ado, we want to make sure that we get all you brothers and sisters, man, all you brothers and sisters, in the mix, and get you in. Let me pop back in it for y'all. There I go. All right, get you all back in the mix, man. You know what I'm saying? ISUPK, man, the only home, and I mean the only home of the living truth. All right, this has been the 84th episode. We rock it out every Sunday, p.m. until 10 p.m. Make sure that you donate, man. Make sure that you donate, if you can. If you can, make sure you donate, man. Donate to ISUPK. All right, ISUPK. Pay your tithes, ISUPK. You see what I'm saying? And listen, if you can, hey, donate to Boot Up and Shut Up, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it ain't no thing, man. Donate to the men of the Lord. Pay your 10%. You understand what I'm saying? Donate to the men of the Lord, man. And so we can keep this thing going righteously. You understand? Cash App, $BUOSUR. Again, $BUOSUR. Boot Up or Shut Up Radio. Coming live to you, all right? Again, rocking out with me was Trooper Malakathia doing the reading for me on the scriptures. I appreciate the brother coming out, you know what I'm saying, putting in the work for the Lord, man. All right? But listen, until then, we're going to go ahead and get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? This is ISUPK, Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Again, if you didn't know, we started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, all right, under commanding General Yohana, all right? So listen, brothers, hey, man, we're gonna get with you, man, and you know, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to us, so make sure you subscribe to Boot Up or Shut Up Radio on Facebook. Well, not subscribe, but like us on Facebook. And as well as you can subscribe now, we on YouTube as well, all right? So it's not going to hurt you, you know what I'm saying, to go and subscribe to us on Boot Up or Shut Up right now, all right? And we're going to go ahead and get into it, man, all right? And listen, this is the fall of America, man. There'll be no way for America to escape, man. It's over with. It's over with before it started, you understand? And we're going to let you know what the business is for real, all right? Y'all know what time it is. ISUPK, man. Forever and a day. You understand? Until Christ returns. Forever and a day until Christ returns. Y'all know what the business is, man. Mm-hmm.
Boot Up or Shut Up Radio live with Priest and Officer 5000 on Wanya Allah. Tune in every Sunday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time. It's gonna be informative and provocative. Also broadcasted live with Priest and Captain of 13,000. Kahan from Yard will be reporting live from hell. to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You about to see famine in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and might, black man, because your